Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. The Forgotten Lands is where I find myself today. This is a new mod map out by Carl TG. 137.61 megabytes download. There are two required mods that download automatically. We've got the Old Grain Mills by Bartson V3 and the Silo Lizard by Piesel. We do have a couple of mods in the build mode that have been put in under sheds. This is over and above those two required mods. We've got a shed there, farm shed, put in on the Forgotten Land, and I think we've got a farmhouse. Yeah, farmhouse by the Forgotten Land. Everything else is standard. There's nothing else in build mode under landscaping. The textures, painting textures, all those are fairly standard. There's nothing over and above, anything that stands out. But here we are. This is an interesting one, a nice one. I know I said it a lot. It's kind of pioneering, but kind of not. When I use the word pioneering, people panic and think forestry. Well, I don't want to know. Nope, it's a mix, a nice blend between the two. Now, there's some forestry if you want to do it. There are no contracts available because you've only got one field, which is right here by the farm, which you start with. I'll show you that in just a moment. I'll talk about slot count in a moment because it's all right here at the farm where we start. But this is kind of a blend between No Man's Land and Western Wilds. It's flat like No Man's Western Wilds, but like No Man's Land, you've got clumps of forestry. I mean, Western Wilds has got clumps of forestry as well. This has got a railway. What we'll do, let's go into this menu. We've got a railway up here. Now, this is the extent of the map here. You look out and you think, oh, it's quite a big map, but that is the edge there. That is the edge there. It's this darkened section. If I go like that, you will now see the extent of the map. The other good thing about this map that I like is field prices and plot. I'll say plot prices. On New Farmer, we start with plot 1. If we click on that one there, 6,833. That one, 27 grand, 12 grand, 64 grand. That's a big plot. It's only 64 grand. So buying up plots of land, not too expensive. So you can get the ball rolling really nicely. That's a nice feature. There's no additional crop types or anything like that added in. I've already said contracts. I've shown you the mods, talked about the required mods. What we can do now, we'll talk about slot count as well. 767 on New Farmer. And we start with all the buildings, we start with all the farm machinery and equipment, which we're also going to see in a moment. On Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, it's 696. You don't have any of the buildings, you don't have the silo, but you do still have all the vehicles and machinery. It will look like this. If you then decide you want to go full clean slate and you get rid of all the vehicles and machinery, I got the slot count down to 546, which is nice and low for you to then crack on and do it if you like. Now, there are no productions on the map. Again, leaving you free to do whatever you want. Now, the one thing I will say that I think maybe I might be doing the other maps a disservice. What I think stands out between this and maps like No Man's Land, West Miles, this feels a little bit more gritty. It feels a little bit more, I don't know, there seems to be, it could be the slightly muted colour palette, I don't know. I like it, I like that feel. We've got a nice big lake behind the farmhouse, just here. And as you can see, there are clumps of forestry, but nothing over the top. If I go back to the map again, you'll see these darker patches are our clumps of forestry. All the other patches are open. Now, there are a few trees here and there, but nothing you can't get rid of fairly easily with various different tree mulchers and tree removal devices. Farmhouse is where we got our sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger. So we come in here. We do have a light. Where was the light switch? Just here. Bit of a delay, but that's all right. Sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger are just here. Sleep and wardrobe, respectively. We come round the back, around the sides here. We have another light switch there. Something I did notice. It was just me. These are around the wrong way. Yeah, that's its closed door. It's a tiny thing. And then when you open it, it then says open door. Unless it's referring to what it is. It is a closed door. It is an open door. Maybe, I don't know. Got this lovely little area at the back here for dining. Overlooking the lake. Look at that. Wonderful, isn't it? Let's open the back door and go back out. It's actually Farmhouse. If we come down now, we do start with a fair bit of equipment and machinery. When I said the slot count's 767, we've got a trailer there. We have a harvester. Now, the other thing to point out as well is vehicle damage. Everything you start with is on 100% damage, so everything needs repairing. If I jump in the harvester, look to the right-hand side, the repair is right to the bottom. It needs fixing. Everything needs fixing. I kind of like that too. It's all dirty, it all needs repair, it needs work. But we've got a harvester, we do have a JCB, we do have a Massey Ferguson with front loader gear. If we come across the other way, we do have a Deutzfahr. We've got mowing gear, forage wagon. Come a bit further over, we've got our grass work stuff here with our tedder and our windrower. We've got a cultivator, we've got our seeder. We've got a tank, water tank, we've got a jet wash. We do start with a sheep pen, that does 16 sheep. 16 or 15? Hang on. 15. I don't know why I said 16. Again, terrible handwriting. We do have a kipper trailer, header and header trailer for the harvester. The silo is 75,000 litres, and this is one of the required mods. This is the silo lizard. The lizard tank is 75,000 litres, standard crop type, and it does also have a silo extension that goes with it. Actually, that was something I was going to check, because there are two sat here. I'm pretty sure that's the silo and that is the extension. There we go. So we have got 150,000 litre capacity there, so that's your main silo, that's the extension, because that one's got the pipe coming out of it for it to be the silo with the extension next to it. So 150,000 litres, standard crop types. And that's the farm. That's everything you start with. But as I said, on farm management start from scratch, you don't have the buildings, you don't have the silo, don't have the farmhouse, but you do have all the vehicles and machinery. Now, as far as going around the map, there's not a huge amount. I said about the railway. The railway goes east-west to Deerland. That's where the stuff is going off to. We'll get up to that point in a minute. We've got a windmill out to our east, which we're going to head to as well. I'm going to grab the... I was going to use the fast track, but the pickup would be quicker, wouldn't it? So as far as that sort of pioneering spirit goes, it is left wide open. You can use then any production, any buildings, any factories, anything you want on here without too much trouble, I would say, for landscaping. Like I said, there are some trees dotted around. As you get out into the open ground, there are a few dotted here and there, which aren't going to be too difficult to remove. Unlike having to do full-blown forestry to clear enough area to actually, you know, to have a field. Then when you get out to some of the more wide open areas, you could get some fields in amongst them. You could do fields where you've got trees in patches. You know, it depends how you feel about it. But there is enough forestry, so if you want to do a bit, you absolutely can. I'm right what I said though. Is it just me? It just feels like it's a little bit more... Yeah, a little bit more real. I know it's silly when you say that when it's a game, but... I don't know. Anyway. Continue on. Sometimes it's hard to put your finger on it. It really is. So, windmill out here. Now this could be a sell point if you had contracts, but we don't have contracts. So this windmill is available to purchase. And this is one of the ones that does a whole load of different productions. We will purchase it. It's not too expensive. We can buy that for 23 grand. Do that and that. So we can do our flowers. We've got oils we can do here. And we can do pig food as well, with various different crop types. So a multi, I suppose when I said there was no production chains, the windmill is a multi-production chain. I kind of meant more, you know, like on most maps when you have all the various different buildings, you've got your bakery, your dairy, you know, all those kind of things. Sorry, that was, yeah. Now that will start spinning again once you put something into it. I think I used one of these on Carpathian Countryside, if I recall correctly. There's in the pack, there's this one and an American one to choose from. But that's the grain mill, that's the production. Sorry, on my notes, I wrote down grain mill and put buy next to it and completely forgot about it being production. I apologise. If we head up, I'm going to go around the woodlands. I was going to drive through the middle of it, but I thought I know what will happen. I'll crunch into some trees and then I'll be embarrassed, you'll be embarrassed for me, you know, it'll be a whole thing. So, come around the side of the lake, we'll come to the next road. Now when we get up to the main, town's not even the right word, it's not a town. It's just a railway station, and the railway station's got a couple of buildings there for sell points, but the sell points don't match up with the icons. Maybe it'll get an update, I don't know. You'll see when we go up there, I'll show you what we've got. Do have a watchtower just there. As far as I can tell, it doesn't say in the description, it doesn't say it on the information page, we don't have any collectibles that I can see. That one should have gone down, not up. Yeah, there's nothing saying about collectibles, because often if you go to the watchtowers and stuff, you find something. There is a watchtower just there. If we continue north, we'll come to the vehicle shop on the right hand side. The vehicle shop is the reset point for the map as well, so if you get anything stuck or want to reset anything, you can reset it back to the vehicle store. Which is just here. Nice wide open area, and this is one of those maps, again, no fences, no hedges, apart from the few trees here and there, so you can go as big with your equipment as you want to. You know, if building up from scratch is something you really like, and you can make your fields as big as you want. Once you've cleared the trees, you can do anything. There's something very freeing about that, but something also, I've said this many times before on maps like this, it can be incredibly daunting. If you're just playing for you, and you can jump on a map and say, no, it doesn't matter what I do, because if I get it all wrong in my first day, 2 days, week of playing, I can always just scrap it, start again. If you're making videos, if you're doing a let's play, say for example, and you're putting it out there for the world to see, it's an added pressure that I'm adding on myself, but there's an added pressure that the direction you need to go in, or might go in, you need to have that very set in your head. And sometimes when there's so much freedom, there's a panic of what do I do? What direction do I go in? How do I tackle this? Whereas a map that's got stuff already on it, there's kind of already a sort of semi-pre-prescribed direction you could head in. So I don't know, for some people they will absolutely love this style of map. For other people they might find it too daunting. Too much open area, too much choice, you know, I don't know. But it is what it is. Have a play around with it, do what you like. So, workshop trigger, vehicle shop, and as I said, reset point is here as well. If we go just across the track, roadway, and up the other side, we come to our sell points, which are just up here. Now these buildings as well, I love these. I think, again, it adds that gritty realism. It's not that situation of, okay, we got a railway, here are some plonked buildings that I have found, or, you know, they fit. They've got that gritty realism. They look right, you know. I don't know, it just works really well. Now what we do have, we've got the storage bay sell point just there. We do have an animal dealer here, and we have the train station sell point. If I go to the map, I'll show you what I mean. Should have gone the other way, but that's right. So we went from there, round the lake and up there to that road, round there and up here. We went to the vehicle shop and we're now here. Now according to this, you've got that there, storage bay, that there, train station, you've got a rent train point, and you've got the animal dealer. Those points are just there. Now if I go down to this here, and we go to storage bay, and click on tag place, that is the storage bay. Quite clear, no problem at all, haven't got to worry. You can see that flashing, brilliant stuff. Go back to there, do that, and we take that off, untag it. If I then come across and we go down till we get to one that says train station, or I'm sure it says train station, doesn't it? Storage bay, where are we? There we go. Train station, and I tag that. That is showing as there in the middle, which when you look on the map again, that matches up to what that's showing there. Fantastic. But we have that icon there, which I'm assuming, I suppose what I need to do is off camera I will come onto here with some a multi-fruit buying station or something like that, and a trailer. I'll buy some stuff and I'll bring it here to sell. What I'll do is try and tip it here and try and tip it there. And what I'll do, if this is the tipping point, a thumbs up will appear now. But the other thing as well is, when we come over here, So that says train station. When it gets out, that will disappear. Boom, brilliant. But then over here, we've got our animal dealer, which was showing on the map. Animal dealer, that's just there. Fantastic. Then we've got this here, which is your wood sell point. You've got a tipping point just here, and you've got the wood bunks there. You've got your sell point, it says sell wood, which is here. Which I'm assuming is all part of the train station. I'm assuming that that marker is just saying, look, this is the train station, this is where you get to. So you've got your standard sell point just there, and you've got your wood sell point at the train station just there. That would make more sense, I think. But just clarifying, if you're looking for a sell point and you follow this and you get to the middle and think, hang on a minute, I'm assuming, because some people don't play with these markers on, that's the thing as well. If you've got your markers on, showing you where these places are, that's fine. A lot of people don't play with those on. If you come onto a map for the first time, I always have them on, just to see, and sometimes I'll play on a map for ages. So if I go to a sell point I haven't been to for a long time, or I've been to at all, or a production chain, I'll have to put them on just so I know where all the triggers are. So if you're just going by the map and end up in the middle, you might be puzzled. So that's why I'm explaining. When we come over here and we've got the rent train. What I like about this as well is it seems, when it says Forgotten Lands, it's like, it's not quite derelict, but it's been here a long time. You might get a train come through once a week. There's not really very many people about. You bring your stuff here to sell and you wait for the train, kind of thing. It comes from the east, heads out to the west, and the train itself is a bit rusty. It's, you know, looks like it's seen better days, that kind of thing. Let's click on that. Oh no. When I did my walk around, when I clicked on that, it was like 300 meters away. It was perfect timing. That's going to take a little bit of time. So bear with me. The train will arrive. We'll have a look at the train. And in all honesty, that's the map. It comes in from there. It goes out there. That's the edge of the map to the north. We looked along both of those roads. Well, I say both those roads. We went around the side of that wood. That road runs down past this wood, but then it goes off the map just there. That's the edge of the map. So that's it. There's nothing else on there. And as I said earlier, it's yeah. I like the idea. I like the style of it. These buildings, they're fantastic. It's really, really nicely done. I like the fact you've got a loading platform here as well. So when the train comes in, whatever you're putting onto the train makes it a little bit easier to do as well, which is a nice feature. So I shall now just wait for the train. The train is inbound. I was just looking on the map, so it should be on its way. Yep, nearly here. And you'll see as it arrives. There we go, it's coming in now. It's the standard train template, but I like the fact it's been sort of adjusted a little bit to make it look like it's a bit older, a bit worn, sort of rusty. Quite a few carriages on this as well. A few grain containers, 2 log carriages. Now the other thing as well, if you're not sure what you can sell, I've said this many times before, if you go onto your prices menu and you scroll down, as you scroll down each of the individual items, it will tell you where you can sell them. So, for example, there, seeds, sugarcane can go to Deerlands. So if you're not sure what you can send on the train, wood chips can go. I was going to check for wood. Now that's interesting. It's one of those things I've said a few times now. If you're making the train, why would you put... I suppose no, that's the wrong thing to say. Because if you can't sell wood at Deerland, why would you put log carriages on? But if you were doing logging, let's say, out here, mind you, the nearest forest is there. If you're doing logging a long way from the train station, it makes more sense if you've got a circular route or you've got a map where the train runs around past forest areas, that you might load the logs on somewhere else and then bring them to the train station to sell, potentially. But it is quite a long train, quite a few carriages. Anyway, always long, have a look at the bit at the front. And that's the map. That's the Forgotten Lands by Carl T.G. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.